Welcome everyone to tonight's special presentation, your blueprint to becoming a consistent, confident trader. I'm Jerry D'Ambrosio, Manager of Educational Content here at VectorVest, and tonight I'm going to show you the core principles professional traders live by and a simple, short-term trading strategy that has produced incredible consistency over the years. My goal here is to help you trade faster, smarter, and better, just like the pros. So let's jump in. Let's begin with a fundamental question. What makes a pro a pro? Professional traders aren't born with some special gift. They develop habits. First, they know that success will come with time and effort. Trading is a craft. You get better one day at a time, one trade at a time. The pros know the market is always teaching them, and they use each experience to improve. Second is they don't get discouraged by losing trades. Losses are data, not defeat. They don't personalize losses. They simply ask, did I follow my plan? Third is that they base decisions on facts and data, not feelings. Pros rely on rules, not rumors or hype. They rely on indicators and probabilities, not gut instinct or social media opinions. Fourth is they know when to get out of a trade before they get in. Every trade has a defined stop and target before the buy button is pressed. That keeps emotions out of the process. And finally, they stick to their plan. Discipline turns information into profits. Most traders struggle not with analysis, but with consistency. And today I'm going to help you change that. Here's what happens when traders operate without discipline or a plan. They go broke, chasing hot tips, reacting emotionally, averaging down, trading on hope. These behaviors destroy accounts, not because traders are bad, but because they're unstructured. Now compare that to a professional mindset. Know exactly what you're doing, no matter the situation. When you have rules, every trade is deliberate. You know why you're entering, you know where you're exiting, and how much you're risking. There's no guessing or hoping, just execution. And when you follow a proven process, the reward is consistent gains. Consistency doesn't come from luck or one great trade. It comes from doing the right things over and over again. That's the foundation of every successful trader. Here's the big mistake, though, that keeps traders from reaching consistency. They follow unproven, overly complicated strategies. Too many traders jump from system to system, chasing the next big idea without ever mastering one proven approach. That creates confusion and frustration and ultimately inconsistency. The pros know that simplicity wins. You don't need 10 indicators or complex algorithms. You need a strategy that's tested, repeatable, and rules-based. And that's what we're going to focus on next. A straightforward system that gives you clear buy and sell signals, no guesswork. It's called the RSI-2 trading system. You may be familiar with it. It was developed by Larry Connors. He's an author, he's a trader, he's been doing this for over 40 years. And it's one of the simplest and most effective short-term trading strategies I believe ever created. This system focuses on stocks in long-term uptrends that are experiencing short-term corrections. In other words, strong stocks that have temporarily pulled back. And what I love about it is it's very simple. It only uses 3 indicators. The 3 components are the 200-day simple moving average to identify the long-term trend, the 5-day simple moving average to track short-term price action, and the 2-period RSI to identify short-term oversold conditions. When you combine these 3 indicators, you get a clear, rules-based approach to buying dips in a strong uptrend. Let's go over the exact trading rules. You buy only when the stock is above the 200-day moving average. Prerequisite right there. That confirms the long-term trend is up. Next, price must be below the 5-day simple moving average, meaning it's pulled back. And finally, the 2-period RSI, stands for Relative Strength Index, must be below 10, indicating short-term oversold conditions. And the key to this is you enter near the close of the current trading day. The exit rules, very simple. You exit when price moves back above the 5-day simple moving average, and again, you're doing so near the close of the day. This approach captures quick reversals in strong trends, taking advantage of short-term weakness in really strong stocks. Let's take a look at an example. It's just one example, of course. I have here Google. What we have on the chart is the 200-day moving average in purple, the 5-day simple moving average in white, the 2-period RSI, relative strength index, in green, and a red line here, horizontal line at the bottom, right at 10. Now, everybody should have some exposure to Google, right? It should be in a long-term portfolio, whether it's a retirement portfolio, might be even in a 401k fund that you're in, most likely. If it's an S&P fund or a NASDAQ fund, you have long-term exposure to Google. What we're talking about here is supplementing those long-term gains with short-term ones when opportunities present themselves. So it could be a stock that you trade often using this technique, again, to supplement the long-term gains that you are seeing in your retirement account or any type of long-term portfolio where you're holding Google. It might be the Mag 7 ETF that you're exposed to, right? So you have exposure to Google long-term. And here we only want to focus on the times where the price was above the 200-day moving average. You could see that there was a time here early this year when it wasn't. So those aren't times where we would trade the RSI 2 technique when price is below the 200-day moving average. But let's just take a look at this area here, where price really didn't move all that much, but we had a number of opportunities to take advantage of some of these short-term pullbacks within this long, nice underlying uptrend. Here, for example, on November 15th of 2024, the price of the stock was above the 200-day moving average, but you can see that it's recently pulled back. It's fallen below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI went below 10. That date was November 15th of 2024. If you remember from the entry and exit rules, we are to take this trade near the close of the day on November 15th of 2024. So if you buy it near the close there at 172.49, you sell it a couple of days later, 178.12. Small gain. Folks, we're not looking for home runs with this technique. This is a technique where you're going to hit a number of singles, and you'll kind of get an idea of what the hit rate is or the win rate here is in a moment. And that's what I want us to focus on. How often am I winning? How often am I making money with this technique? I'll get into some monetary performance data in a little bit, but let's just focus on win rate. What's my win rate? I'm holding Google long term, but I want to supplement those gains with some short-term opportunities. So there was an opportunity where you would have made some money, right? If you would have bought it near the close there at 172.50, you sell it near the close there at 178.12. That's a win. You had another win there where if you would have bought it there at 167.63, you would have sold it a couple of days later right as price moved above the 5-day moving average and closed above the 5-day moving average, right? You had another chance there as well. What I'm showing you guys are called setups. Every single opportunity that you had to trade the RSI 2 system on this one stock during this time period. So nice trades there, quick little wins. You know, even during this short-term correction, we were able to make money when the position in our long-term portfolio wasn't making money, right? Kind of drawing down a little bit. Of course, stock rallied and continued to move higher. There, it's also above the 200-day moving average, but it's experiencing short-term weakness, right? That is clearly defined here. Short-term price weakness is defined by price moving below the 5-day moving average. And the short-term oversold condition is defined by the 2-period RSI being below 10. Good opportunity to buy. You buy near the close there at 189.30. You sell a couple of days later, 191.79. That's another winning trade. How about this one? Did we win on this one? 189.66 roughly. Again, another short-term pullback within, remember, this strong underlying uptrend. That's the key. You won there, you buy at 189.66, you sell at 195.55, another quick short-term gain there. This was not a setup, even though price had pulled back, and even though this would have been a winning trade, but price pulled back below the 5, but the 2-period RSI did not dip below 10. This is a rules-based system. I talked earlier about no guesswork. It's very rules-based. You follow the rules. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Let's just see. Okay, here is where you would have lost a few times. If you would have taken it there, let's just zoom in a little bit. You would have taken it there at 185.34. Remember, the exit criteria is when price closes above the 5-day moving average. Actually, you would have won there. Small little win, but it's a win nonetheless. So there's your short-term pullback. Price falling below the 5-day moving average, the 2-period RSI dipping below 10. You buy it near the close there. There's the closing price. And stock winded up closing above the 5-day there on 213. Made a few bucks there. How about this one? 2-period RSI did not dip below 10. Okay, a couple of times you lost here. You would have bought it there. You would have sold it there when price closed above the 5-day. I would argue that when price closes or goes below the 200-day moving average, you should seriously start considering why you're still in the position. But on a rules-based approach, you would have sold it there at a loss. Now, the price of the stock stays below the 200-day moving average for a while. None of those setups are trades. So you sit out and you wait for price to move back above the 200-day moving average, which it did. Now, here are some opportunities to take advantage of short-term weakness within what's now, once again, an underlying uptrend. So there, 2-period RSI did not dip below 10, so you didn't get an opportunity there, but you got an opportunity there. You buy it near 199.32. You sell it a couple of days later. Nice little quick win there. Remember, you're not looking at Google and saying, oh, I'm missing out on so much profit. The stock price keeps going up. You already have exposure to Google somewhere. So don't worry about that. You're just supplementing and using these opportunities to make even more money on a really, really good stock. Here's another setup. So there, if you would have bought it there, you would have closed it there, maybe at a small little loss. But then you had another setup there where you would have made money. Nice quick win there. And that's the hard right edge. I just showed you guys 12 setups really quickly, right? It's a very easy system. Price above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10. You buy near the close of that day. You sell when price closes above the 5-day moving average. 12 setups over the last year with Google, 9 winners, 4 losers. That's a 75% hit rate. I think that's very good. I know it's just one stock. So what I did recently was I took the top 5 stocks in the S&P 500 no petrol watch list sorted by CI since October 21st of 2024. Those were the top 5 stocks in that watch list on October 21st of 2024. And I ran through the same exact exercise that I just did with you folks. I looked at every single RSI2 setup across all 5 stocks over the last 1 year, and there were 85 of them. There were 62 winning trades, 23 losing trades. That's a 73% winning trade percentage. That's the type of hit rate that you should expect at the minimum with this system. Those are real, measurable, and consistent results. So the question becomes, how do you build this discipline to trade like this every day? How do you take this knowledge and turn it into consistency, confidence, and real performance? And that's where our All Access Pass comes in. The All Access Pass is the most complete educational membership we've ever offered. When you join, you get every live class, every premium course, all mastery sessions, all the tools and searches, and also 70 days access to VectorVest Premium. And yes, you'll be automatically registered for our upcoming Trade Like a Pro live mastery class. You won't have to pay for the Trade Like a Pro separately. It's included. So let's talk a little bit about what the Trade Like a Pro course looks like. Here are the modules. It's a 6-module course. Module number 1, we get you into the correct mindset. We talk about managing risk and order entry and position sizing. And then we get into some techniques, candlestick signals, technical indicators, and some professional traders techniques. One called the Holy Grail, great little short-term trading system, 50-50 and 80 excellence, and then a little bit more on the RSI-2 and the RSI-25 trading system that Larry Connors developed exclusively for ETFs. And what I love about these techniques, they have pre-built, baked-in exit criteria. With these techniques, you will know exactly when you're going to enter and when you're going to exit, either at a profit or a loss. So some bonuses here. Again, you'll get 70 days access to VectorVest Premium. I want to make sure you have everything that you need for the duration of our upcoming Trade Like a Pro class. You'll receive 1 extra bonus session after the course officially ends. The bonus session will be a live trading session where we'll implement what we've learned over the course of the 6 weeks. We'll show you how to use RoboTrader to manage your trades, and I'll be stepping you through everything from market analysis to trade setup to trade execution. And this is huge. This is a great bonus for not only the All Access Pass, but the Trade Like a Pro course. Exclusively for All Access Pass members, you will receive pre-built scans that will make finding your trades really simple. You were probably thinking, all right, they teach us the Holy Grail and the 50-50 and the RSI-2. How am I going to find trades? Would I have to do that manually? I did the legwork already. I built these scans to quickly and easily find the best candidates to trade, and they'll be inserted into your VectorVest 7 program so you don't have to build them yourselves. And remember, the strategy that I talked about today, the RSI-2 system, it's not just theory. This is a long-term portfolio that I've had running for years and years and years. I created this trading system many, many years ago, and it centers around the RSI-2 system that I just taught you. The exit criteria is a little different, but a part of the Trade Like a Pro course is that you get the exit criteria and all of the variables, right? All of the rules in this automated trading system. Over the last 15 years, this RSI-2 trading system has produced 316 winning trades and 27 losing trades. That's a 92% winning trade percentage. The exit criteria here, a little different than what I taught you today, only because there's no way to automate closing the 5-day moving average, using that as your exit. I had to make an adjustment and work with the confines of the VectorVest program. But you will get all of those variables here. I mentioned earlier where the hit rate on just that one stock or a couple of stocks that I looked at was about 75%. I said you could probably do better, and you could see 92% winning trades. So the All Access Pass gives you every course, every tool, every support session, which are designed to help you achieve these kinds of consistent results. And you'll learn directly from our coaches. You'll be able to apply these methods to your own portfolio immediately. The All Access Pass includes everything, every live class that we have, every bonus offer, every tool that we provide. If you add it all up, the Trade Like a Pro course that we're doing here next week, that would value $29.95. You won't pay $29.95. You won't pay $22.95. Today you get the All Access Pass, full membership for just $1,995. And by the way, folks, when we sell the All Access Pass, normally it's $7,500, and again, it includes every course, every live session that we do over the next 1 year. So go to that website that you see at the bottom, vectorvest.com/TLP. And listen, if once the course is over, if you've attended the live sessions for Trade Like a Pro, you've watched the recordings, you've completed the assignments, you're still not satisfied, we'll gladly give you a full refund. We're confident that once you experience the All Access Pass, you'll see exactly why so many traders are calling it a game changer. Here are the dates for our live mastery sessions. We begin next week. Once you register, you get an email with these dates. These are all Tuesdays, and each session begins at 1 p.m. And once the course wraps up, you'll get to join our live trading session on January 6th, beginning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. This is where you'll see everything in action. Finding trades, setting entries and exits, applying the strategies that you've learned in real time. It's an incredible opportunity to build confidence and reinforce the principles that led to professional level consistency. So now that you understand what makes a professional trader, right? Discipline, structure, and a plan, and you learned a simple, highly effective short-term system, I'm looking forward to helping you guys become faster, smarter, and better traders. Thanks for spending some time with me, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you in our Trade Like a Pro class next week.